I am the hero of One Punch Man and I have experienced more sexual stimulation than any man could ever experience in one or even two lifetimes. Compliments of Mosquito Girl, who was now having sex with me again in her beautiful pale white human form that I made for her. I had sex with Mosquito Girl so much in 5 days that it was impossible not to fall in love with her, and I also married Mosquito Girl and I even got her pregnant, and even while she was pregnant, just like my other wives, I still made love to her and I rubbed her pregnant belly gently with my hands just like my other wives. Mosquito moaned and said, "Oh Leo the first, love you so much," and then I said, "I will show you what true love is," and I had sex with Mosquito Girl passionately and she said, "Oh my god Leo the first, love you so much," and after a wonderful month with Mosquito Girl I went back to my hero duties, and then that's when the Seafolk appeared and I showed up to save all the C-class rank heroes along with my father Saitama. I destroyed nearly all of the monsters with one punch except one, and I said, "I need you to deliver a message to your boss, tell him I'm coming back here soon to kill him and send him to hell," and then I took one of the sea monster's limbs as a warning never to return, and he screamed out in agony and he said, "My leg," and I said, "You have more than one leg, now go deliver my message to your boss and tell him that the Lion King of this world waits for him on land, now go," and then one of the last seafolk fled into the ocean out of fear that he would be next, and I had even managed to save all the humans because of me. This time there was no human casualties, I saved everyone, and then me and my father Saitama saved the rest of the city until the Sea King returned to challenge me, and right before he was about to harm Genos and Moomin Rider I appeared before him and I transformed into my man lion form and I said, "I am the one you are searching for, Sea King, time for you to die," and then me and Saitama destroyed Sea King with a single punch, but right before that the Sea King saw my true powers and he said, "It's the God King, savior of this world," and I said, "Go to hell," and shouted Lion Fist, and I asked, "Are you guys okay?" and then the crowd said, "The Lionheart saved us again, praise the number 1s rank hero." They all started chanting Lionheart and I said, "Now everyone, a hero is never alone. I had help from these brave heroes who deserve just as much praise as I do, so please don't forget about them and their heroic deeds," and one person said, "He's so righteous and noble and so divinely handsome even in his Lion King form." That day I had saved countless lives. I saved well over 10 million people, permanently etching myself into history as the greatest hero that ever lived, and after that day when people saw me they bowed out of respect. Even Puri Prisoner dared not to look at me sexually, and I went to visit Puri Prisoner in the hospital and I knew that now he was receiving backlash from the news media and he looked disappointed and almost depressed, and I said, "Don't worry about the words of others, my friend, you are a hero, just don't sexually assault any other men, understood, and you can remain free," and he said I was pathetic out there and I said, "You need to kill the monsters, you must fight to kill the monsters at any cost, Puri Prisoner, there's no other option. If they continue to be monsters then they are evil and they are monsters. Not all of the monsters can be saved, like my wife, and this world is my kingdom and I am the lion here, the one that stands above all others. Whenever you need my help, my friend, I will be there, and know that as long as I'm here hope will never abandon you or the people." And then Puri Prisoner cried as I walked away after delivering a heartfelt and inspirational speech, and then I turned and looked behind me and I said, "Train and get stronger, Puri Prisoner, there's always a way to get stronger." And then I went to talk to Moomin Rider because I was impressed with his strength, and the Hero Association told me to tell him they are moving him to a hero rank 5 and they are also moving my father Saitama to be hero rank, and secretly the Hero Association was sending King on missions to kill monsters outside the mega cities. And then C branch operator said to Sich, "Wow, King really is the strongest human because he's able to fight all these giant threat level dragon monsters all by himself, just with physical attacks, not just his energy blasts that seems to destroy everything." And King had been killing some random monster association members and he still hasn't found the entrance to their hideout or any useful information about where they are hiding. And then King said on his phone, "Damn, another dead end, I haven't found anything about where these damn monsters are coming from." And then Sich said, "We just have to keep trying," and then King said, "I don't know at this point, it seems like a waste of time." And then King looked at his hands.